Brother lads, welcome back to the Kosi Arsenal channel. Welcome back to a brand new video. We have the latest on the transfer market. Benjamin Sesko, Matias Cunha, Arsenal are zeroing down on a number 9 this January transfer window. And of course, the coming back of Ethan Nwaneri could mean that the priority of getting a winger is slowly getting cold. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. It's been quite a very difficult window for Arsenal fans, myself and you guys, because we thought this was the window where Arsenal were going to act. It's a window where we were going to be active and try to compete for players, but most of the good players have actually gone without competition, especially from Arsenal. I did see Ryan Sharkey available at Lyon, Kvaratskhelia going to PSG, Omar Mamouche going to Chelsea, to Manchester City. And there was no real competition from Arsenal. But of course, according to Sky Sports, they have just said Arsenal are not willing to sign players that are not Mikel Arteta's long-term targets. So that means that however much a player is available this January, if that player is not a long-term target for Mikel Arteta, Arsenal will not do the deal regardless of the squad situation at the moment. And that's why you see we have signed Martin Zubimendi, although he comes in the summer, but Arsenal feel Zubimendi is a player that Mikel wants. He's part of the long-term targets, and therefore getting the deal done in January is still in plan and is still in line with the plans for the future and the plans for the summer. So what is going on with Benjamin Sesko? Could we get a number 9 before the end of the window? That's what we're going to be discussing. Could we get Sesko? That's another question. It's a big one, by the way, because Arsenal are in talks with RB Leipzig and also the entourage of the player to make the deal happen. It's a difficult one. It's a very difficult deal compared to the Matias Cunha deal, which is also, by the way, very difficult. Yes, Arsenal have an agreement on personal terms with Matias Cunha, and it wouldn't be an issue if both clubs agreed on a price. But Wolves are saying we will bend down to the terms and conditions that are being put on the table by Matias Cunha's camp. We are not selling in January. And if we don't get on any of those two, does that mean that our chances of and hopes of getting a striker are done? And I'll answer that. And what does those two mean to the long-term project as well? If Arsenal sign Sesko, does that mean that Mikel Arteta has brought in his number 9? Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you so much for 1K subs. Building something new, building a new community where I can engage with people. I think the old community had lost its way. That's why we're no longer there. Let's get into it. Now, let's start off with the Benjamin Sesko story. Yes, Sky Sports are reporting that Arsenal are heavy on a number 9, and they still feel one of their long-term targets, be it Isak or Sesko or Cunha, is the one that has to come in. So Mikel doesn't want to go and do a deal for, let's say, Ivan Ferguson or Omar Mamouche, right? Because they are not his long-term targets. I mean, it explains why Arsenal never went in for Kvaratskhelia. I mean, I would have done the deal in a heartbeat, right? 67 million? Are you kidding me? But the reason that's why we didn't go for Kvaratskhelia, and this is not me doing PR for Arsenal. It's me just using my knowledge generally. I think Mikel doesn't see those players as long-term targets, and possibly he doesn't even have them in his list. So probably he's gone, I am not going to sign Omar Mamouche. I'm going to try and sign Sesko. I am not going to try and sign all these players, Kvaratskhelia, Marcus Rashford. They're not part of the plan. So Sky Sports under Damesh Chef are saying that Arsenal want to get a number 9, but the player has to be part of the long-term vision for Mikel Arteta. That means if we sign one in January, we don't sign one in the summer. Now, there are two names that Arsenal are heavy on before the closure of the window. I think it's going to be around 6 days, 7 days, and then the window will be shut. We are talking about two names. One is Benjamin Sesko. A lot of information has been flying around this January transfer window on Benjamin Sesko. I've not really been reporting about it, which is bad, but I also think it's a good thing because now I can give you filtered information on Benjamin Sesko's deal. So where are we with Sesko? Are talks ongoing with the player? Do we have an agreement on personal terms? What is going on? The first thing I want to say is that all the sources that are reporting about Sesko can confirm that Arsenal wanted Sesko in 2024, and this is just a continuation of the deal. So right in the summer, obviously during the Euros, Arsenal tried to get Sesko. We tried to sign him, but he decided to stay at RB Leipzig. They gave him a wage increment. They gave him a better contract. And of course, their word that they would sell him in the summer, not in the summer of 2025, which is around 4 months away or 5 months away. So if it's going to come in the summer, Arsenal have got to be very, very careful and very patient. However, Arsenal don't want to wait until the summer. We want to get him in January. So we wanted him last summer. We're trying to get him in January. And possibly if that fails, then it's a deal I could see Arsenal do in the summer, in June or even in July. So Arsenal back in, we have reopened negotiations with the players' camp and the players' entourage. And basically what Arsenal are trying to do, we're trying to turn the head of the player. We're trying to show him the advantages of signing for us now, which are basically nothing. Okay, maybe not nothing. I mean, we are still in the UEFA Champions League. RB Leipzig are out of it. Maybe that's the advantage. Maybe, like, you tell him, listen, you can play for us in the Champions League. You have already played there. You can continue. But apart from that, I don't see the advantages of coming into Arsenal early for Benjamin Sesko. I mean, he might as well wait until the summer. So talks have been reopened. The player's agent has made it very clear that he has not had any loan offers from Arsenal or any other club. And he has said he will not tolerate, accept, agree, reach a consensus with anyone who has plans of getting his player on loan. So it has to be a permanent deal. So on the player side, he is okay with staying at RB Leipzig. He's not pushing for a move at the moment. He's not pushing the door. He's okay. He's like, listen, if Arsenal sign me, I will move. If they don't sign me, I'll stay. Either way, he's already replaced Andre Silva in the starting 11. He's the most important striker right now at the club. I think him and Openda, he doesn't really have big problems where he is. When it comes to RB Leipzig, they are confusing, according to reports that I've read. The first reports were very clear. Leipzig don't want to sell, and if they should they reconsider that position, they're going to ask, in excess of 80 million pounds. And personally, I say he is not worth 80 million pounds. I even don't think that Sesko is worth 60 million pounds. But the transfer market has gone wild. It has changed. It's crazy now, right? It's crazy now. And therefore, Sesko's 60 million pound quoted price could be okay. I mean, that is the price, right? That's the market right now. So Leipzig are saying we don't want to sell in winter. We are selling in the summer, right? Arsenal are still pushing for Leipzig to change their position. Now, there are a couple of stories saying that Arsenal have reopened talks with RB Leipzig to see if it's done. But the latest quality information I can give from Sky Sports is that Arsenal are still having internal talks to see if the Benjamin Sesko deal is possible. So here are the questions that we've got to ask ourselves. Is it possible? Under what conditions could it be possible? And do we have the time to wait for Leipzig to make up their mind? I'll start off with, is it possible? It is possible. I think there is a world where Arsenal sign him, right, in January. Like, I mean, we've seen Kvaratskhelia move. I didn't think Napoli, after getting a new manager and they're having this bloody hell of a good run, they were going to lose Kvaratskhelia. Like, it's insane. And what happened? They lost Kvaratskhelia to PSG. So there is a world that Arsenal signed Sesko. However, it is not the calm, usual world. We might see Arsenal overpay slightly, and we might see Arsenal being a little bit bullish. I think it might need to cause some kind of civil war between the negotiation room where you have Sesko's agent Sesko and officials of RB Leipzig. That's number one. Number two, what are the conditions? The conditions are that Arsenal have to satisfy RB Leipzig and Sesko as well. Because if you're Sesko, you're looking at Arsenal and you're like, they don't have a striker, so I'm okay. I think I am better than Kai Havertz, but I think the manager has got to give him his word that even though we have Kai Havertz, you will start. Because the obsession Mikel Arteta has with Kai Havertz is unjustifiable. The only reason I can think about as to why we are, seeing Havertz play 90 minutes every single time is Mikel Arteta trying to justify the 65 million he slapped on that guy, which was clearly a waste of money, right? So Sesko, if we can give him the guarantee that he's going to get enough playing time, he's going to, be given priority. I don't see why he would say no to the Arsenal project, either in January or in the summer or even now. Now, what are the conditions for RB Leipzig? For me, it's going to be a lot of money. I don't think they want anything else because they know they're going to lose him in the summer. They know they have, I don't know if they have lost Silva yet, but they still have Openda in the team. So I won't be surprised for them to say, listen, we've got a couple of assets in our arsenal that can do a striker. What you've got to do is the money. And there have been a few options that have been, thrown around. Arsenal getting him on loan and then a buy option. But reports are saying that Leipzig want money, cash up front, or you buy him on loan right now, you take him out on loan right now, but you have to commit an obligation to buy. So that's where we are with Benjamin Sesko. Is he coming? I mean, if Arsenal are still in internal talks at this stage, then I can't really say he's gonna come. But if we can, speed it up, if we can meet the conditions of the player and the conditions of RB Leipzig, there is a real possibility. Now, there is also a report on Matias Cunha. It is not heavily Arsenal related, but it shouldn't give you a lot of optimism as an Arsenal fan because it's a general report. And it says that Matias Cunha and his contract talks have broken down. Wolverhampton Wanderers are now fearing that he might leave rather than stay. And Cunha and his camp have noticed something. They have noticed heavy interest. Talking Tottenham, we are talking Chelsea, we are talking Arsenal. So they have noticed that the player is on high demand right now. And they're saying, what if he moves right now? What if we get the deal done right now? I mean, it's 60 million. A couple of clubs are willing to pay that 60 million. What is holding us back from crossing over from Molineux to another stadium this January transfer window? And they don't have a reason. Now, I don't know where Arsenal are in terms of meeting the terms and conditions of Wolves. Because the last time we were talking, we were informed by Team News and Ticks that personal terms were in place. We were also informed by Fabrizio Romano that this is a situation to watch until the end of the window, as Arsenal, Chelsea, and a couple of other clubs are optimistic that they could get the player. Nottingham Forest apparently also want Matias Cunha. So what I'm going to say here with Matias Cunha is, I think he is the second option to Benjamin Sesko. And I think Arsenal are not particularly in a rush to sign Matias Cunha, especially with Ethan Nwaneri coming back from his injury. I don't think Arsenal are in a hurry, in a rush to sign Matias Cunha. Hear me out. This is the reason. I think Mikel Arteta looks at Cunha as a good replacement for Gabriel Jesus. That's very possible. But I also think that the profile of striker that Arteta wants is typically Sesko or Alexander Isak. And I believe he will get one of them, and it will be Sesko. Not in January. Could be January, could be the summer. But I think it's going to be Isak or Sesko. So Matias Cunha then just comes in as that extra player that plays everywhere. Kind of like Leandro Trossard, right? You can play in the middle, you can play on the left, you can play on the right. You just come in at any point in time, to bolster the numbers in the squad and the quality as well. So I think if you asked me, Cunha has less chances of signing for Arsenal. Now that Nwaneri is back, I think Arsenal are going to go and try and get an out-and-out number 9, and that could be Sesko for me. But we'll be talking more about the striker situation. We'll be talking more about the injury updates, the game that we played yesterday, all coming up in the next episode. See you then.